Hi, my name is Tisha and I am from the Department of Agriculture. We have been invited by the Bureau of International Trade Relations to share with you the concessions that were obtained by the Philippines for the agriculture and fishery sectors under the Philippines EFTA FTA. With that being said, I would like to share with you the total agri-fishery trade between the Philippines and the EFTA member states reached about 48 million US dollars in 2020. Agri-fishery trade balance for the period was about 35 million US dollars in favor of imports. This means that we have more imports of agri-fishery products than export to the EFTA member states. Among the four EFTA states, Switzerland is the Philippines' biggest agri-fishery trading partner, followed by Norway, Iceland, and Liechtenstein. So individually, our export to Switzerland in 2020 totaled to about 3 million US dollars. Top agri-fishery exports were fresh and frozen yellowfin tuna, desiccated coconut, fish fillet, preserved fruit, raw cane sugar, tobacco, bread, pastry cakes, and other bakers' ware. As far as Norway is concerned, our total agri-fishery exports to Norway in 2020 reached about 4 million US dollars. You will notice that this is bigger than our export to Switzerland in 2020. Then again, we know that 2020 was not a normal year, no, because of the pandemic. So kaya siguro nagkaroon ng ganitong statistics. But traditionally, Switzerland is really the biggest trading partner of the Philippines as far as the EFTA member states are concerned. So what were our top agri-fishery exports to Norway? You have karajinan, desiccated coconut, sauces and preparations, prepared or preserved pineapples, bread, pastry, cakes, biscuits, and other baker's ware. We also export uncooked pasta, food preparations, smoked fish, and preserved sardines. In 2020, we only exported desiccated coconut to Iceland, and it was valued at 14,000 US dollars. So now, what were the duty-free market access for agri-fishery products under the PH-EFTA FTA? Across all EFTA member states, they granted duty-free market access for all fishery products, dried fruits, fruit juices, tropical fruits like banana, pineapple, mango, and papaya, prepared or preserved pineapples, desiccated coconut, coconut oil, tomato ketchup, soy sauce, carrageenan, beer, and tropical fruit wines from the Philippines. Switzerland likewise granted duty-free market access for sweet corn, mixture of fruit juices, unsweetened tropical fruit jam, roasted coffee, banana ketchup, and muscovado sugar for 100 metric tons. Norway, on the other hand, granted duty-free market access for cocoa powder, peanut butter, mango chutney, mango jam, among others. So, uh, the Philippines is the number one import source of Norway for imported karajinan and desiccated coconut. Um, it would be worth noting that Norway also accorded the same tariffs for processed agricultural products as they have the European Union. So, meaning if the tariffs on these products are further liberalized for the European Union, the same will be accorded to the Philippines for the processed agricultural products. So, some of these processed agricultural products are cakes and cookies, cooked pasta, etc. So, for Iceland, it accorded duty-free market access for squash, coconut or copper oil cake, sweet potatoes, taro, and corn for peas. So on the rules of origin for agri-fishery products, this will be actually extensively discussed by another speaker, but I would like to share with you that EFTA member states have agreed to a more liberal set of requirements for some Philippines agri-fishery products to qualify for preferential treatment. Example of this is canned tuna. So we can now export canned tuna to EFTA member states at zero tariff, even if the raw tuna is imported. Another example is fruit cocktail, which we can export to EFTA member states at tariffs lower than the MFN rate, even if the raw materials are imported. Okay? So, what are the challenges in expanding exports, especially in EFTA member states? First, we need to address sanitary and phytosanitary measures, which will be discussed by another speaker, a colleague of mine, Ms. Ann Lopez. So I will not really dwell much on this here. So number two, we have technical barriers to trade. What is this? I think somebody else will be discussing this, but is this is a regulation or a standard or procedure that could make exporting goods to another country more challenging. One example of this is labeling, and another is packaging. For example, uh, if you want to export to Switzerland, just maybe, your packaging or labeling will be required to be in their local language, like French or in German. So we need to comply with that. You know? So that's one thing that we need to hurdle if we want to export to these countries or in any other country. Number three challenge that we need to hurdle is our production capacity. The Philippines needs to expand production areas to cater to more markets. So if we need to export more, if we need to increase our export, we also need to expand our production areas. However, this is very challenging nowadays because we all know that agricultural lands are being converted to commercial and industrial lands. No? So probably what we need to do is to just increase the productivity of the existing agricultural lands. One very important thing that we also need to hurdle is how we can address pests and diseases. Okay? For example, Fusarium wilt or Panama disease and black sigatoka for our banana, and coconut scale insect or cocolisap and kadang-kadang for our coconut. These are two of our major exports to the world, but these two these two products are now being um, challenged by the prevalent uh, infestation of these pests. So we need to address this so that we can maintain, at least maintain, if not expand our export of these products. Okay. Um, Number five, we also need to diversify our produce. We cannot rely on raw banana or what do you call this? Like frozen fish alone. No? We need to invest in research to develop a more diverse array of food products to cater to the ever-evolving preferences of our export market. Hindi ho pwede na porket pineapple ho ang naging traditional export natin, eh, makokontento na ho tayo na pinya lang, fresh pineapple lang yung ating i-export. Thailand and Vietnam are investing heavily in developing new products from their primary agricultural products because they want to increase or expand their export overseas. So, ano po yung mga recommendations namin? Una, we would like to recommend for the government to continue providing production and marketing support for farmers and fisher folks to encourage them to produce more. No? Kasi kung wala hong support to the farmers and fisher folks, wala hong magpuproduce ng agricultural product, wala rin ho tayo may export na agricultural product or even processed agricultural products. So we need to beef up on our production. Number two, we need government to continue providing support for agribusinesses to ensure sustainability of ready markets for farmers' produce. Siguro we can see that in the news yung mga tinatapon ng mga kamatis, yung mga ganyan, dahil wala hong market na mapupuntahan yung mga produce, no? So basically, the government should continue its intervention pagdating sa ganito po yung merong business to business, parang business matching, yung mga ganyan, locally, domestically, and even abroad. So, on the part naman of the private sector, they should also focus on developing processed products and continue again processing primary agricultural products to extend their shelf life so that it would be easier to bring their products to Europe. No? So, kasi can you imagine if we just rely on mango, fresh mango? How many tons of mango do we need para makarating sa EFTA, no? So it would be very impractical. So I think it would be more practical if we develop processed agricultural products para ho ma-maximize ho natin yung ating mga concessions na nakuha sa agreement na po na ito, and then we can increase our export. Malaki pa ho ang space para ma-increase po natin yung agricultural exports natin, especially in Switzerland and in Norway. No? Kasi meron na tayong ties with them. So it would be easier siguro if we have a more diversified processed agricultural product. So yan ho, dyan ho nagtatapos ang aking presentation. If you have any other question, you can email us or you can email BITR and BITR can forward to us your questions so that we can answer them for you. Okay? So thank you. Keep safe, everyone, and thank you very much.